Will there even be a World War III? Well, some countries will be safer than others if it does happen, so which country will be the safest if World War III happens? New Zealand is at the top of the list because it's pretty much the definition of an isolated country. It's made up of 2 main islands and a whole lot of smaller ones scattered around the coast. Even if there's a war in the Pacific, New Zealand will likely remain safe. Plus, it's politically neutral. They don't have any allies that would drag them into a war. And they're self-sufficient enough to fend for themselves. If food and water become scarce, New Zealanders can rely on their abundant natural resources and agricultural industry to sustain themselves. They've got plenty of arable land and they're already used to growing their own food. Plus, they've got a lot of water, although most of it is in their rivers and lakes. But hey, they've got enough to keep things going. Oh, and let's not forget about their underground water reservoirs. When it comes to energy, they've got geothermal power, hydropower, and wind power. Sure, it might not be as cheap as other places, but at least they'll have some power. What about healthcare? Well, New Zealand has a universal healthcare system, so everyone will be covered if they need medical attention. The only downside is that it could get pretty crowded. New Zealand is pretty isolated, so it's going to be hard to get away from all those pesky humans. But hey, at least they won't be bombed by other countries. Switzerland is another great choice if you want to survive World War III. It's surrounded by mountains and water, making it almost impossible to invade. Plus, Switzerland has been politically neutral for centuries, which means they don't have any enemies that would want to attack them. They're also self-sufficient when it comes to food and water. In fact, they're so self-sufficient that they even produce more food than they need. This means that they could easily survive a long-term conflict without needing to import food or water. And what about Bhutan? This tiny Himalayan kingdom is pretty much invisible to the rest of the world. They don't have any big allies or enemies, and they're self-sufficient in terms of food and water. Plus, their strong focus on renewable energy means that they'll be less likely to be targeted by countries looking to secure energy resources. So if World War III does happen, your best bet is to head down under or up to the Himalayas. Just don't forget to pack your bags.